Hey guys, it's Tuesday and we're still talking about lines and the different kinds of lines that we see. Let's just do a little recap of yesterday. We talked about some key vocabulary. We talked about points, lines, a line segment, and a ray. If you forget what any of these are, you're more than welcome to take a look back at these slides, take a look at the teaching videos, and of course, you can listen to me kind of go over these in a little bit more detail. But for today, I want to start talking about the types of lines. And this is really easy if you played our game yesterday, because these lines were already in our math game yesterday. So, the first type of line that we're going to be talking about is what's called an intersecting line. And an intersecting line is when there's two lines that share exactly one point. So they crisscross and they touch, and there's a middle point, and you'll be able to see what that looks like in a second. A perpendicular line are lines that meet at right angles. So when you have a perpendicular line, you'll notice that it creates a right angle. And if you were with us last week, you should know what a right angle is. A right angle is an angle that measures 90 degrees. It's like an L shape and it has that square box. And then last, we have parallel lines. Parallel lines are always the same distance apart from each other, no matter how far they are extended, and they will never meet or touch. So, parallel lines, it's like two lines that are the same, okay, but they're separate and they go on forever and never touch. So, let's take a look at what these look like.
Okay, class, who would like to do problem 3 on the board?
You'll find lines that are perpendicular on the rectangle's perimeter. Or let's break it down even simpler. They make right angles in particular. Parallel lines never meet. Intersecting lines make these. Perpendicular lines meet at 90 degrees. Put your hands in the air with me. Parallel, intersecting, perpendicular, they're rectangular. Now let's talk about detecting if two lines are intersecting. It's the term that we select if at any point two lines connect. Parallel lines never meet. Intersecting lines make these. Perpendicular lines meet at 90 degrees. Put your hands in the air with me. Parallel, intersecting, perpendicular, they're rectangular. When two lines will never touch, then you can tell that those two lines are parallel. Like these telephone wires up above the street. Parallel lines will never meet. Parallel lines never meet. Intersecting lines make these. Perpendicular lines meet at 90 degrees. Put your hands in the air with me. Parallel, intersecting, perpendicular, they're rectangular.
All right. So that was the number rock video here. Okay. Let's take a look at the next slide. How can we identify different types of lines? So parallel lines never intersect. Parallel lines are always separate, but they go the same direction and they never ever touch, ever. Perpendicular lines intersect, and intersect means touch, and they make that X shape. As you can see right here, these lines are perpendicular. Let's see what this has to say.
Let's think a little bit about two terms that you will see throughout your geometry and really mathematical career. One is the idea of things being perpendicular, and usually people are talking about perpendicular, actually I'm misspelling it, perpendicular lines, normally perpendicular lines, and the idea of parallel lines, parallel lines. So perpendicular lines are two lines that intersect at a right angle. So what am I talking about? So let's say that this is one line right over here, and that this is another line right over here. We would say these two lines are perpendicular if they intersect at a right angle. So they clearly intersect. In order for them to intersect at a right angle, the angle formed between these two lines needs to be 90 degrees. And if any one of these angles is 90 degrees, the rest of them are going to be 90 degrees. So if this is 90 degrees, and these are perpendicular lines. And if that's 90 degrees, then that's going to be 90 degrees, that's going to be 90 degrees, and that's going to be 90 degrees. So if any of them are 90 degrees, the rest of them are 90 degrees, and we have perpendicular lines. If you have two lines that on a two-dimensional surface like your paper or like the screen never intersect, they stay the same distance apart, then we are talking about parallel lines. So this line right over here and this line right over here, the way I've drawn them, are parallel lines. They aren't intersecting. They're both kind of going in the same direction, but they're kind of shifted versions of each other. They will never intersect with each other. So these two are parallel. If we have two lines that, let's say they intersect, but they don't intersect at a right angle. So let's say we have that line and we have this line right over here, and they're clearly not intersecting at a right angle, then we call these neither perpendicular nor parallel lines. These lines just intersect.
Okay, so the main thing is parallel lines, they never touch, they go the same direction. Perpendicular, they touch and they have to make a right angle, okay? Like the video said, if they're touching and you don't see a right angle, those are just called intersecting lines, but perpendicular is that 90-degree angle. Okay, your assignment today, you are going to be identifying what type of line this is. What term is this? So for number 7, what kind of lines are these? Okay. Number 8, what kind of lines are these? Number 9, what is that? Okay. If you were here yesterday, if you did the assignment, you should know what that is. Number 10, what kinds of lines are these? Number 11, what kinds of lines are these? And then number 12, what kinds of lines are these? Okay, so they're either going to be parallel, perpendicular, intersect. All right. You're going to click in and type in your slide. So for number 7, if you think number 7 is perpendicular, you're going to write perpendicular. If you think number 8 is parallel, you write parallel, and so on. All right. Again, those are not the answers, but that's what you're doing. Okay. Any questions, let me know. But please complete the slide and submit and let me know when you're finished so I can give you credit.